Welcome in, guys, to I preview the every single NFL team for the upcoming 2023 season. And I thought I'll talk about, we're in the NFC North, I thought I'll talk about some Bears football, yeah. So, we're going to talk about the Chicago Bears and where I think they're going to be and where I think as a franchise they should be, in my opinion. So last year they finished 3-4, won 3 games all year, finished 3-14, 14 defeats, 3 losses, 3 wins, 14 losses. Matt Aberflus was his first season as a head coach. He came from the Colts. He came from that Colts defense, which is kind of questionable. I'm like, Ryan Poles, you came from Kansas City. You could have got Bieniemy. Bieniemy. He was the offensive core for 2 of the Chiefs' Super Bowl wins, and you didn't pick one of your guys from Kansas City. You picked fucking Eberflus, really? Oh yeah, for 3rd and 12, halfback time, we're gonna run the ball. 1980s Bears football. Let's run the ball. Let's run the quarterback, that young quarterback that's supposed to be the guy to take us to that next level, to take us to where the Bengals were 2 years ago, where the Eagles were, where Patrick Mahomes has been the last couple of years, to a fucking Super Bowl. But no, instead of doing that, let's get an offensive coordinator that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's in over in his head. He's like, Justin Fields, I want you to do the 1980s Bears way, which is run with the ball, halfback dime, 3rd and 12, run the ball, keep running the ball, run the ball. I'm a coward, fucking all this bullshit. And ultimately, the Bears finished 3-14. And you look at the Bears in previous years when they had, Jay Cutler, and they had fucking, Trubisky. They reached the Super Bowl in the playoffs that year, like 05, 06, when Lovie Smith was the head coach. He got into a fucking Super Bowl. Lovie Smith got into a Super Bowl, and they were justified in Chicago. And then you look at this Trubisky team, this team like only 3 years ago, 2020, that they actually reached the playoffs. And this was with Matt Nagy, who again doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, with a overrated quarterback Trubisky, who again was never the guy in Chicago. I'm sorry, he was never the guy. He's a good second QB, but he was never the guy. And then everybody, all these Bears fans are, we'll be happy if we win 7 games this year. 7 games? You should be winning 11, 12 games this year, 13, 14 games this year. Up to 13, 14 games this year to get yourself up to the NFC North, especially with the NFC North and how, the transition with all the teams this season, especially with my Lions, who we're still rebuilt. We are a young team and we're building. You've got the Vikings, who are second year into the Kevin O'Connell experience, and eventually are going to get rid of Kirk Cousins. You've got Green Bay Packers. What is Jordan Love going to do finally after 3 years of him wasting away on the Green Bay Packers bench? Is he going to deliver? Again, it's big shoes to fill for Jordan Love. And then you've got the Bears, who again like saying, yeah, Justin Fields our guy. This is Justin Fields' 3rd season in the league. Especially in the 3rd year, you should see some progression. He has shown in some games last season. I could see some progression. So, this could be the guy. But a lot of times in Justin Fields' game, his awareness on the field, his vision on the field for the offensive players and the weapons around him is not the best. He runs the ball way too much. I know some of that's good guessing, but that's Justin Fields as well. He needs to himself evaluate what he needs to do on the field, and if he has to run for a play, run for a play. But again, throw the ball more, because if you keep running, you're going to bring yourself into the ground, and you don't want that in your young quarterback. Again, Justin Fields needs to get 3,000 yards this season. I said that last year. He needs to get 3,000 yards, or he's not the fucking guy. If he doesn't deliver this year, Justin Fields, and I'm sorry, Bears fans, he is not the guy. You have to go 2024. Find somebody in that 2024 quarterback class. You should have got maybe somebody like, maybe Anthony Richardson this year, if he doesn't deliver. But who did they get to help Justin Fields? They got a lot of people in the trenches this year to get Justin Fields. They got Gervon, Dexter Senior. He's a defensive line. They got Tyrique, Stevenson. He's a defensive back. Defensive line, Zacch, Pickens. They got Roschon Johnson, running back, and they got Noah Sewell. I don't know his name. Sewell. They got Tyler Scott, a wide receiver. They needed a wide receiver, especially an improvement on Dave Montgomery, who again isn't good enough if you're going to win a Super Bowl. Dave Montgomery isn't good enough. So they needed a wide receiver. They got Tyler Scott. He looks good. I don't think he's the finished product yet. He's only like 21, 22. He's very young and to develop. But again, he was like a late 5th round pick. I think it was 5th or 6th round pick. And then they got like 2 defensive backs. But again, they also got DJ Moore because he had the 1st round pick of this year's draft, and they traded that so that they could get Darnell Wright. He was a good acquisition. That is what they needed. Somebody on the trenches for Justin Fields. Darnell Wright was a good acquisition, and I was a fan of him. I watched him. I scouted him from when he was in Tennessee. I liked his work. There's a lot of teams that needed a Darnell Wright, but again, the Bears are like, yeah, shit, we're gonna work on this. Ryan Poles again. This is his 2nd season as a GM. He's got to deliver. He's got to deliver. Justin Fields has got to deliver. Eberflus has got to get his shit together. Luke Getsy's got to get the hell out of Chicago because, again, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Again, this fucking play calling from the 1980s. Come on, it's 2023. You've got to pass the ball. Offense wins you the games. The defense doesn't win you football games. You look at the past number of head coaches that actually win Super Bowls. Apart from like Belichick, he's like a defensive head coach. But the majority of the head coaches the last 5, 6, 7 years have been offensive-minded coaches. Andy Reid. You go to Bruce Arians. You go to all these other guys who are offensive-minded. Come on, Bears. Like, again, you're stuck in the fucking 1980s. Fucking, oh, we're gonna fucking run the ball. We're gonna do a halfback dive. We're gonna do a 3rd and 12. And then we're going to just keep running with the ball because, again, let's just, exhaust our quarterback. But again, what do I think the Bears will finish overall? They have to win at least 11 to 12 games. They need to win 11 to 12 games, especially in the NFC North when it's wide open and whoever can win the division, especially this season with everybody in our division transitioning, who's in transition and coming off some different kind of things in the franchise, like maybe, like you have Aaron Rodgers, he has left, he's gone to the Giants. So again, the NFC North is wide open. You have to win that division and make sure that Justin Fields is the guy that the Bears fans have been saying, oh my god, he's the guy. Is he the guy? This is his 3rd year in the league. Start proving that he is the guy.